Hello. Hope November was wonderful for everyone. Hope you all enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I'm excited to be back. I'm ready to throw myself back into this and talk to you guys and catch you guys up. Today is going to be more of a catch up for you guys to just talk about life, how things have been the last month and a half for me. I do want to preface this video by saying that it will be mostly mental health based. That might be a difficult conversation. There might be difficult things for some of you guys to hear. So if you are not in a space for yourself where you are comfortable with this type of video, then feel free to skip it, or skip it and maybe come back to it. I am going to be working on a blanket. I've taken up crochet again. I'm going to be working on a blanket while I'm talking in this video, so I apologize if I'm not looking at the camera as much, but it'll help me not allow the feelings more into me than just telling you guys about them, so that I have something else to put my energy into and focus on. In case you're curious, I'm using a white acrylic yarn from Hobby Lobby. It is the I Love This Yarn brand. Very nice. Very soft. And then I'm using a baby blanket yarn in the color Giggle Me This. I am taking the two yarns, putting them together to make one, and you end up getting this really, I don't know if it's translating on camera as much, but it's super fuzzy with just kind of white spread throughout it. It's very cute. The thing we should start with is why I needed to take a break, because I do really try to, no matter what, put up content for you guys. I typically can, and I love doing this. This has quickly become one of my favorite hobbies. I was having some issues at work. I don't want to give too much detail. Things are just very sudden, unexpected, and moving very quickly. And to be honest, I just needed to step away and focus on myself, and to be honest, just getting through each day, start to finish, without letting things get to me too much. I have been on a bit of an autopilot for the last 6 weeks. To put it frankly, I was let go from my job. I am going to try to not cry in this video. I am very thankful that I was given notice that this was happening, and that I wasn't just dropped with no job. I was at my job for over 5 years. At the end of the day, I kind of caused myself to get let go, but in a sense of trying to do the right thing and trying to make the workplace a better place and hold everyone to the same level. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to talk about without giving away too many details. I like a fair workplace. I like for everyone to pull their own weight in regards of doing their job and getting their own things done. Everyone has their days where they need help. Everyone has their off days, but I think if every day seems to be an off day, or every day is seeming like an off day, whatever, I don't think it's the right fit. Or I think that needs to be looked at, and I think that change needs to happen, especially if it's not just affecting that one person and it's starting to affect the people around them that they work with. I have a very big, very strong belief in equality and in fairness in the workplace. I mean, in life too, but I mean, right now we're just talking about work. And I am someone that I love to help people that I work with. I spread myself way too thin, way too often to help other people to make sure jobs get done. I'm very grateful for the work ethic that I have been given by my parents. I would not be the woman I am today without it. Essentially, things were not the best there, and there was a lot of unfairness and a lot of ways that as a workplace could grow. So essentially, I was really just trying to help and make people feel like things are improving. People open up to me, especially with how long I'd been there. And there was just a lot of things happening that really weren't okay. A lot of time went into those things being ignored. Not by me, but by other people. Essentially, me trying to improve things is the reason that I was let go. The conversation about all of this is a very different conversation, and it's not one I'm going to talk about on here. My last day at my job was yesterday. Well, for me, yesterday. My last day was the last day of November. Sorry, I was trying to think of when this is going out. And I have spent a lot of time looking for other jobs. I was not expecting this to happen. To say I was panicked is putting it lightly. I was scared. It took me by surprise. When I found out, I spent the first 2 to 3 days on this couch, laying down, just crying. It was very difficult for me. I was still trying to make videos for you guys, and it really just, it wasn't working, and it was becoming more, I don't want to say this felt like a chore. It felt like a chore in terms of trying to figure out what to film for you guys, because I had nothing positive. I had nothing on my mind aside from the fact that I was losing my job. So that's why I took the break. That's why I said, you know what, we're going to just put a little pause, little bookmark here, and come back to it. I'm not going to talk a lot more about my job and whatnot, because there's just, I'm not going to go into details of things. I really just more so wanted to come on here and be able to make some of you guys hopefully feel heard and seen, knowing that we all have problems and issues and we all deal with things. I will say I have not found anything, well, I have not been hired anywhere yet. I have been putting in applications a lot. I do have one lead. I have one possibility. It's not happening for a second still. I had as good of a Thanksgiving as I could, I'd say. I'm not in a holiday spirit. Knowing that the week of Thanksgiving you are also being let go is a difficult thing. And so I did not feel like it. But my lovely mother came over. We did our normal things. She typically will stay the night the day before Thanksgiving, and then we'll wake up and we'll cook and whatnot, and it hosts, here at my place, makes it easy. So we did that, and that was great because I had someone else here to help keep my mind off of things. and distract me. So Thanksgiving was as good as it could be. We had a lot of people for us over. We don't have a big gathering anymore, but we had a bigger gathering than we typically do this year, and met some new people. It was fun. It was good. I'd been thinking over my last week at my job, and I have decided to take this week off, specifically Monday through Friday. The day that I'm filming this is my first day without a job to go to, and so I'm taking today through Friday, so the day that this video comes out, to myself. I decided that based on my mental health, I really needed a break. Thankfully, I have worked my finances out over the last 3 years I've been in this apartment, to where I do have extra money. I am okay. I will make it through December okay. After December, if the opportunity I'm looking at right now does not work out, then January is when I need to kind of really just stop everything and figure things out. So if I take a break in January, then you know why. But I have the funds to take this week off from putting in applications, so I am doing it. I thought I had gotten through all of my feelings over the last 6 weeks since this has, happened, since this started. There we go. And when I clocked out yesterday and got to my car, I just cried. I cried so much. I was angry. I felt betrayed. Someone makes you feel like they care about you. It can even be a boss. At the end of the day, it's their business and they're going to make their decisions that they're going to make. As I said, I was at that job for a while. I had things built up there. I had relationships, and I had I had things there. And so for it to just all of a sudden be ripped away has caused a lot of feelings. Try not to cry my makeup off. So I'd been thinking about taking this Monday through Friday completely to myself for a couple of weeks. For probably about the last 2 weeks, it'd been on my mind as a thing that I would possibly do. When I got to my car yesterday and just felt everything that I'd thought I'd figured out and gotten over come rushing back, that was very signifying to me that I do need to take this break and I need to focus on myself, just bring myself back to a good place. Water. It's supposed to be flavored. I doubt it's very flavored. There's a hair of flavor in there. When I search deep down and I think about why I lost my job, I think about the last however many years spent at that job. It makes me not like myself very much. That is really why I'm taking this time off and taking a true mental health break, because right now I don't like myself very much. I spent years at this job trying to be someone to fit the role. You might understand if you're someone that has been through a lot in your life, if you've had a lot of traumatic events happen, you're very reserved and to yourself. You might understand. I stayed at this job partly because I was under the impression that I was going to continue being able to make more and more money. Unfortunately, we live in the world that we live in, and things are expensive. We all know this. I am not very smart with my money, if I'm honest, and I have made decisions in the past that have now put me in credit card debt. We all know this. This was my first video I ever put on here, was partially about my debts in life, mostly my credit card debt. You know, when you see that dollar sign grow, it's hard in today's world to say no to that. And with my work ethic, I made it very easy to be someone that moved up in the chain of command, or, you know, to get promotions and stuff. I have always been that way. Every job I've ever worked, I have learned multiple positions, just constantly learned and learned and learned and gotten better. And I go to work with a mentality of how can I improve today? What can I do better today than yesterday? I have always been that way. It is literally in my blood. A big reason why I stayed for as long as I did was because of the money. You know, I come to find out that apparently that was just never actually the end result that I was led to believe was going to be the end result, was never actually going to happen. I should have, there were signs. I look back to the last couple years, especially the last year, and there were signs, and I should have seen them. And this was a job where I had gone back and forth a lot with leaving for my own mental health, because mentally this job was a lot for me, more so than any other job I've worked. Of course, with this situation, I am wishing that I had gone with my gut and done, you know, the soul searching and job searching way before on my own terms. Aside from money, you know, you get comfortable, and so you stay at places. But I constantly, for years, every time I would clock in and go to work, I would put on this mask of someone that I'm just not. I will never be, frankly, because I have not had that kind of life. I have not had that kind of privilege to, you know, turn out to be the kind of person that job required, because I have had a lot of traumatic things happen in my life, and this is not something I've opened up about much on here, because mental stuff is hard for me to talk about. I advertise it on my page and I want to live it. It's on my banner and on my intro, mental health, and that is more me wanting to be more open. I have had a lot of traumatic things happen in my life, so much so that when I hold conversations with people, it's because typically the other person has started the conversation with a topic, because I just naturally don't have positive things to talk about, and so I typically just don't talk. I typically hold things to myself, hold feelings to myself, have thoughts in my head, but don't say them. And so typically when a conversation is held with me, it is because I was not the one who started the conversation. I am not complaining about my life. I have some amazing people in my life, and I'm a big believer of the butterfly effect. If I could go back and change anything, would I? And considering all of the traumatic and awful and horrible things I have been through, I wouldn't. I would go through all of those things time and time again, just to end up in the same place because of the people I have in my life, in my personal life. There are certain things in my life that I would not want to not have. And if that meant that, if changing the most horrible thing that's ever happened to me meant that I didn't get, the best thing that is in my personal life, then I wouldn't change it. I would go through it again. So I'm not complaining at all about my life. Life happens. We all go through traumatic things. Some of us go through more than others. And some people are more fortunate to not have as many traumatic things happen to them. If you've ever heard of, I don't know the saying, if you've never broken any bones, you have a very hard life in other ways. Look it up. I don't know all the details about the same, but it is out there that if you've never broken any bones, then you have more than likely lived a very difficult life. I am someone who has never broken any bones. I'm just further explaining that I was trying to fit into a role that wasn't for the kind of person that I am. I am glad that I am in this place where I don't have a choice to find something else that is either more fulfilling to me or just less stressful and allows me to actually enjoy my personal life and not come home disliking who I am as a person. Don't believe that your job has to be everything. I don't believe that your job has to be your life. And so I'm not trying to find something necessarily that is fulfilling. I don't mind basic jobs. There was definitely a point in my life where my job mattered so much to me. And I'd even say with this job, it kind of mattered to me because I think one of the other reasons I stayed there for so long was because I felt like I mattered. I felt like I was important. I think there was definitely a time in my life where I felt like my job was everything. My job defined me. And I just don't feel like that anymore. I have, once again mentioning, I've been through a lot. And I am at a point up until, this entire thing happened. I have been fortunate to create a personal life that I love. I think it's a lot more important to me to have a personal life that I love than the coolest job or be in the highest position at my job, whatever it is. For the first time in my life, I am in a place where I truly love myself or I was at a point where I truly love myself and I love my personal life and I love my free time off. I'm not wanting to do negative things that I have stopped doing without giving details away. I am in the best place in my life currently that I have ever been in, especially in the last 17 years. And so it's more important to me now that I have something that is not wearing on me mentally. I spent the last several years trying to force myself to be someone that I'm just not. And it's taken a toll on me. You're probably wondering, why is it affecting you so much? I did put in so much effort at that job, and it feels like a waste. It just left me in a place where I don't know that I worked through feelings about certain things, about who I was, about where I came from, my past, but I had kind of made peace with some of them and felt good about who I was. There's been a lot of things over the last month and a half that have brought back a lot of those feelings. Find it difficult right now to appreciate where I've come from and appreciate my past and appreciate the hard things that I have been through. This really felt like a slap in the face, and it felt like I'm not good enough. Someone that struggled their entire life with feeling like she's not good enough, that was a very difficult thing for me to hear. Kind of lost with myself. I'm left evaluating everything, right? I'm left evaluating situations and looking back on things and just wondering, where did I go wrong? How did I end up here? Where did I go wrong? What could I have done differently? What could I have done better? Where did I fail at? And I'd be lying if I said I liked myself right now, because it is very much the opposite. I feel very lost within myself. I've been left questioning who I am as a person, how I interact with the world, how I deal with things, how I react to things. I'm a good person. I am a good person. In my heart, I know I am. And I know that there is nothing wrong with me. And I think when you're going through things like this that make you question who you are as a person, it's important to remind yourself that you're not who your mind is telling you that you are, or you're not who people around you might make you out to be, depending on the situation. And it's important to have those reminders. It's not going to make those thoughts go away, but it will help the thoughts to be a little bit easier. So not fond of myself right now for a lot of reasons. And I just taken this break because I want to learn to I need to learn to like myself again. Now that I am fully done with work and on this hiatus in between jobs, it's a good time for it. I have caring and loving people around me. I will be fine. I know I will be. But I just want to do some evaluating in my life. Just do some things that, of course, I'm going to do things that I enjoy, but I want to, actually do some exercises for my mental health to help my brain relearn that I'm not an awful person. That's what I will be doing. I don't know how much of it I will film. I don't know. I don't know if I'll film any of it or if I will catch you guys up in another talking video. I don't know. I invited my mom over for Christmas decorating. I mentioned I have not been in the holiday spirit, which is true. My mom hasn't been able to decorate her own house for Christmas in years. I'm not in the Christmas spirit. I would like to be under a blanket on this couch, not doing anything, but that's not an option, because if we let that be the thing, no matter how you're feeling, you can't go back to doing things that weren't helping you. I remind myself of that so that I don't go back to things I did in the past. I just thought it would be a fun bonding experience for us. My mom could get her little decorating out to her heart's content. And then at the end, I'm left with a pretty apartment that I can stare into as I cry. So that will be happening on Wednesday. So it'll already have happened by the time you guys see this. So the next video might just be a vlog, or even just walking you guys through the decorations, giving you all a little apartment tour. Maybe, depending on what we do. You can look forward to that. Like I said, I do plan on still posting every week from here on out, so long as, I can mentally do it. I've got the time. If you, have gone through a similar thing or similar feelings, I am right there with you. I understand completely. This is not the hardest thing I've ever been through in my life. It's a hard thing in what has been a very hard year. There has been a lot of things that have happened this year that have just been so freaking hard. Boy, oh boy, am I looking for New Year's so that we can get out of this year and just be into 2026, because I am so done with this year. I want to remind you guys that if you're feeling negative about yourself, if you're having negative thoughts, talk to someone. I promise you, I have been talking. I used to keep everything to myself. Everything to myself. I never talked about it for various reasons. I have a rock to talk to. Not a real rock, metaphoric rock. You know what I mean. I have someone to lean on in difficult times like this, and they are amazing in just allowing me to do so and being there for me. Don't feel so alone. Remember that you can talk, you can chat to someone, you can write in the comments if you want. I will talk to you if no one else will. But just a reminder that everything will be okay. We are stronger than we think we are. We're getting closer to the end of this year. Woohoo! Don't give up on yourself. You deserve it. You deserve good things to happen to you. You will have good things come. Use your resources. There's so many things online. There's even, chat bots now. Like, use your resources. Don't feel so alone. Don't do anything that you would regret in the future. Be smart. Show yourself some grace. I am having to remind myself that I deserve it, and I deserve the grace, and I deserve to have good things in my life, and I deserve to be treated in a positive way and treated better than I've been treated. We just need to allow ourselves to rest. It's so hard. This next week is going to be very hard for me to just take it for myself and not do the things I've been doing the last several weeks. But sometimes we have to force ourselves to take breaks so that we can come back stronger and better than we were before, because we deserve it. I hope that you guys have been okay. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope November was good for you. I hope you are, ready for December and you have good things happening and all of the things. Is your Christmas tree up? It's December 1st and my Christmas tree's not even up. I can't tell you the last year that I didn't have my Christmas tree up in November. I know this was long. I'm going to stop yapping because I could just continue going on, and I'm already over an hour for this. But I just wanted to give you guys a, little life update. You can always comment. You can go to my Instagram and DM me. I'm there. I pop in I'm on Instagram a lot. I just don't post a ton on it. But I'm on Instagram a lot. So you can always message me there if you need someone to talk to and you don't have anyone else. Message me there. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching this long video. If you've made it this far, wow, that's insane. Know that there are people there for you and you are not nearly as alone as you might feel like you are. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you would like to, feel free to. There are a ton of types of videos on there. There's beauty, there is life, there is vlogs, there's crafting, there's journaling stuff, there's cleaning stuff, there is a ton of different kinds of content because I just kind of post whatever I feel like posting. If you liked this video and you want to see more videos like this, as far as like talking more about mental health and I don't know about life updates. I don't have a lot of life updates usually. I have a lot of mental stuff I could talk about. So if you like this and you want to hear more about it, then feel free to let me know in the comments below and I can definitely make that happen. I can yap all day about mental health stuff. I'm just not used to doing it for you guys yet. I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you in the next one. This is how far we got. It's so pretty.